Yo, what's going on? Welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be talking about ecosystems. Now, I feel like they're pretty interesting, so let's get straight into it. No, this is not for an assignment. I just decided to make a video on ecosystems. Let's go with that. All right, so let's start with just talking about it. Energy flows through an ecosystem, and while matter cycles within it. To understand why this is the case, we need to take a closer look on how different life processes drive movements of energy and matter in an ecosystem. Energy enters through an ecosystem when producers go through photosynthesis. Now, photosynthesis is capturing energy from the sun and storing it as a chemical potential energy, pretty much making food like for plants. During this process, matter from the environment is rearranged into organic molecules, and these molecules, we can just call it sugar. It tastes good. These organic molecules can power the producer's life, and they process via cellular respiration, or they can be stored up as biomass. Next, energy as matter moves up the trophic levels of an ecosystem as producers are eaten by primary consumers, which are eaten by the secondary consumers, and so on. Some of the organic material eaten by consumers is usually cellular respiration, and some are stored as biomass, which the rest is excreted as waste. So the energy enters the ecosystem as sunlight eventually flows out through the ecosystem in forms of heat. In contrast, the matter in ecosystem is continually recycled as atoms are combined and recombined in different ways. Now, back to the cycles. Some cycles include the carbon cycle, the nitrogen cycle, water cycle. Now, the water cycle is pretty simple. We've already talked about it, or I'm pretty sure you've heard of it. But the other ones that you probably haven't heard of are the carbon cycle, and that's a biogeochemical cycle where carbon is exchanged among the atmospheres of the earth. A process from this is combustion. Combustion occurs when the trees release carbon dioxide, water, and smoke into the air, and that's pretty neat. I'd probably look more of this up if you're interested. It's a pretty neat process. Another neat process would be what's it called again? The nitrogen cycle. There we go. And that's a repeating cycle process during which nitrogen moves through both living and non-living things. Parts of the cycle include nitrogen fixation, which can be any natural or industrial process that causes free nitrogen and nitrogen fixation bacteria. Let's see, adaptation. That's a good one. Adaptation is a nature-based solution that harnesses biodiversity in ecosystem services to reduce vulnerability and build resistance to climate change. Some of these include reproductive adaptations, behavioral adaptations, and structural adaptations. Behavioral adaptation is something that an animal usually does in response to a type of external stimulus in order to survive. Hibernating during the winter is an example of that. Reproductive adaptation, that's pretty much adaptation from reproduction. I can't really think of a good example of this, but let's move on to the next one. Structural adaptations. That's the physical features of an organism, like the bill of a bird or the fur of a bear. But pretty much like its traits. In ecology, the organism interacts with the effect that the pair of the organisms live together in community to have with each other. Some of these include competition, parasitism, mutualism, predator and prey relationships, the whole shebang. Let's see. Population gain individuals through birth, immigration. They lose individuals through death and integration. These factors together determine how fast the population grows, and that's pretty much how population works. Human impact on the physical environment in many ways. Well, I should probably stop reading from the script, should I? Let's see. Humans do a lot to the earth. How can I say this? We use a bunch of fossil fuels that causes a bunch of pollution because we keep surviving and all this. I feel like we're hitting the, what's the word again? Carrying capacity. I think that's the word. We're hitting that because of overpopulation. We're using pollution. We're burning it down. Fossil fuels every single day, and deforestation. We just gotta fix the earth if we want to keep on surviving down here. But I'd say that's pretty much it.